Real fast, I want to go over what's in my emergency repair kit that I take with my AirJet DLE170. So we have a screwdriver. Now this is a flathead that also has a Phillips on the other end, just in case I need it. And I use the flathead for the low needle. So if I change altitude or need to adjust it on the fly, I can. And the idle speed. So if I need to adjust the idle speed. Typically you would do those two together if you had any issues, especially with altitude. Then we have a 14, so that's going to be for the spark plug. Now you might find a lighter weight wrench to do that, but you don't necessarily need a socket because you can use the open end of the wrench to get to the spark plug itself. Now let's go ahead and just cover the wrenches in order. So here's a 12, and that's for the engine mount bolts. So where it bolts on to the frame, I always like to check those, even though I have Loctite on those, just to make sure. So in my pre-flight, just give a little tug, check those out. So that's a 12. And you might be able to find one lightweight wrench, kind of like this one, that has both of those on it. But you want to test it out, make sure that you can get to the spark plug with it. And that would save you from having two separate wrenches if you could find a 12 and 14 together. And then you have a number 5 Allen wrench. This one actually has a screwdriver head on it in case I lose my other screwdriver. So this number 5 is going to be most of those bolts with an Allen head. So like your prop bolts and most of your engine bolts, your head bolts, all of those are going to be on number 5. And then you have a number 4. This is going to be for the muffler itself. So you want to make sure it's long enough so that it can reach down inside the muffler to check those bolts out. So I know Avery on the other channel, he has a DLE170 engine, and he noticed those bolts were too short. Now, I haven't messed with mine yet, but I'm going to. I've already flown this thing, and I've already put at least, I would say, about an hour on it. I'm going to take it to the beach tomorrow, so that'll be a longer flight, and I'll do periodic flights and check those bolts. But that's one thing I'm going to check on mine, is take it out and see if those bolts are long enough, and if not, I'll put a little Loctite, get some longer bolts. And spark plugs are always good to have. I don't know how long these last, so I wanted to make sure I had plenty. So I went ahead and bought some spark plugs in case I found it. And then I really don't like the spark plug covers that came with it. So I bought some extra ones, but I don't want to put them on yet. So I've been able to keep these locked in place during flight. But if I ever have an issue, I bought some extra ones. And then I never know when you're going to need some electrical tape. So that's my spare parts kit. Got a little sand in there. I think that came off the tape. I'll have to clean that out. But that's it. That's what I typically take with me, and I normally have my multi-tool with me as well in my pocket, but this is something that I leave inside the kit.